Greetings, citizens, and welcome back to the Hidden Dagger Inn. Tonight we're going to discuss your freeholds that you're trying to get in Ashes of Creation, and if you're lucky enough to get one, how safe are they going to be? So without further ado, let's begin.
Ready to work.
Out of boredom tonight, I decided to reinstall ArcheAge Classic, since it's been out now for just a little bit over a year. I had previously done pretty well in the game and had owned quite a bit of land, and I knew that that land was long gone, but I could still find it in my mailbox. So I figured I'd go back in to see if I could find some land to maybe, restart and reestablish. And after running around for a little bit and trying different areas, that answer became very clear, and it was a resounding no. This made me question whether I even wanted to continue playing, since having a home is such a huge part of the fun in ArcheAge. It got me thinking about Ashes of Creation and how land distribution will be different. Stick around and I'll explain the system to you and how it's going to stand apart. In Ashes of Creation, the journey to claim and defend your freehold will be one of the most prestigious and challenging undertakings a player can face. A freehold is just going to be more than a patch of land. It's going to symbolize your personal achievement and the economic power and your social standing within the node's intricate system. However, the path to acquiring one, especially early in the game, is going to be fraught with tons of obstacles that make it nearly impossible for a player to achieve without the help of their family and or guild. Owning a freehold in Ashes of Creation isn't just a symbol of success, it's a key to unlocking powerful economic and processing opportunities that elevate both the individual players and the guilds. These plots of land are going to be very rare and precious, as Steven has said that they're targeting in the low thousands per server. The resource generation and the processing stations that you're going to be able to put on these are going to be extremely impactful. So those fortunate enough to secure one early on will not only be the benefits of the wealth creation, but also influence their node's political and social systems. However, this prestige comes at a cost. Maintaining a freehold is going to be a challenge. As competition over the land and resources intensifies, for early adopters, the prestige of owning a freehold lies in incredible teamwork and strategic play required to secure and protect it, especially if the world is designed to pit players and guilds against each other in epic battles over the territory. Now, before I move on, I hate to dash the solo players, but early on, the idea of securing a freehold as a solo player may sound enticing. The reality is, in Ashes of Creation, it will be far different. The complexity and competition surrounding the land acquisition, especially early in the game's life, make it exceedingly difficult for a lone adventurer to claim without support. Between being level 50, gathering enough resources for this freehold, and also the Lord's Quest itself, it's definitely going to be more beneficial to do this as part of a guild or a family, a large family. Now, later in the game's lifetime, once you've secured a name for yourself and you've made a lot of money, maybe you sold a dragon egg or something like that, or you had an early apartment that leveled up in a metropolis and then you sold it for a large increase in value, then sure, go ahead and knock yourself out. That shouldn't be a problem. But I'm just saying early on, it's going to be pretty difficult for a solo player to pull this off. If you could do it, hey, more power to you. And this is exactly what I was talking about before. This is where the game's family system and the guild dynamics come into play. A player who collaborates with their family and or guild members will have a much higher chance of securing and protecting a freehold if it were to come under attack. And you're saying to yourself, well, Peon, they can't attack my freehold. How are they going to attack my freehold? Well, yes, while you can hide inside your freehold, they actually can't hurt you inside your home. They can attack you on your freehold property, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about them attacking your node. If they attack your node and destroy your node, your freehold is now vulnerable.
To know, in the aftermath of a node siege, when freeholds can be attacked, are these attacks only allowed for participants of the siege, or can other players come as raiders to lay waste to freeholds as well?
In its current design, it is possible for anyone to attack the freeholds, not just the attackers. That might be changed. We'll see how testing goes. But at the moment, essentially what happens is the freehold becomes vulnerable for a period of time. And then after that period of time, there is a grace period extended for the freehold if it survives that vulnerable period. And that grace period could last up to 1 week, where if another node spawns at stage 3 or above and it falls under that node's zone of influence, the owner of the freehold can choose to undergo a quest/process by which the freehold would then be adopted by the new node.
And as I brought up earlier from ArcheAge, the preciousness of land, the lessons we've learned from ArcheAge and MMOs, and how land is so scarce and a precious commodity. In ArcheAge, for example, the land rush created significant frustration for players, particularly those who joined the game late or lacked powerful guild connections. Land barons would simply hoard large swaths of territory, forcing players to pay exorbitant prices for just small plots of land. And if you think that there's not going to be land barons in Ashes of Creation, think again. This is something that's going to happen for sure. People are going to try it. Now, you will only be able to hold one freehold per account, not server, but per account. So that's important to keep in mind. But this brings me to my next point. As a result of the land barons, many players were locked out of the game's most lucrative activities such as farming and crafting. The frustration in dealing with the land barons in ArcheAge, where the newcomers had little or no chance of acquiring land without paying extreme prices, really highlighted some critical flaws in MMO's land system. However, in Ashes of Creation, the developers have made significant strides in order to address these issues, introducing node sieges and freehold destruction mechanics. One of the most exciting mechanics in Ashes of Creation is the dynamic node siege system, which is going to play a very important role in the redistribution of the freeholds. In this system, the freeholds can only be destroyed during a node siege, and here's how it's going to work. For your freehold to be at risk, the node that it's attached to must be under siege. Players can declare a siege against your node, setting the stage for a large-scale warfare. If the siege is successful, the node will be destroyed and or downgraded, directly impacting the attached freeholds. And should the attackers successfully destroy the node, all freeholds tied to it are now vulnerable and subsequently destroyed. This mechanic ensures that the destruction of a freehold is a significant event tied to a larger consequence of node warfare. So again, as I've said in previous videos, if you own a freehold or you're vested in that node, get out there and protect it.
Wants to ask about PvP permissions. Do players other than those in my party and guild have the ability to PvP within my freehold's zone of influence?
Well, freeholds don't have zones of influence. The question is, are players allowed to PvP within my maybe freehold? Then I would say probably not. I think the freehold is intended to be, specifically the freehold, is intended to be a protected area.
Okay, but if
Unless
the town
there's
gets
a
sieged,
siege and the town gets destroyed. Yeah, if the town gets destroyed, the freehold's up for grabs, and it is a PvP area.
it becomes a PvP. It activates.
Yeah, the protection area is disabled for that period of time.
If the node siege is successful, now you have the daunting task of protecting your freehold, the post-siege challenges that you're going to have to deal with. After your node has been destroyed, it won't be just NPCs or the node that poses a threat to your freehold. Other players, anyone who wanted to come out for this epic event, will be able to steal and destroy your freehold. Opportunistic vandals and looters hoping to take advantage of the chaos, as they're going to have up to 2 hours to loot and destroy it. If you're able to fend off the attackers from your freehold, and it will stay there for 1 week, but it does have to be part of another node. It has to be part of a level 3 village stage node. If you can do a quest in the meantime, then you can attach it to that new node. This system introduces a vital mechanic for preventing land hoarders. Unlike ArcheAge, where land barons could hoard property and dominate the economy, Ashes of Creation ensures that land ownership is going to remain fluid. Nodes can rise and fall, and with them, freeholds can be won or lost. This keeps the land constantly in play, offering players new opportunities to claim plots long after the initial rush for land is over. For those who may have missed out on the freeholds early in the game, targeting the smaller nodes, like villages, that are only stage 3 and probably took a few weeks to get to that stage could be a viable strategy. While metropolises and large nodes of Vera will be heavily defended and cost a lot to siege, the lower tier nodes are far more vulnerable. A well-organized guild and alliance might focus its effort on these weaker nodes, knowing that they are less defended, thus creating opportunities to open up freehold land with the less resistance. So think twice before you lay that freehold, just like you're putting a business in the real world. Location, location, location. Stephen has assured us that everybody who wants some form of housing will be able to obtain it eventually, whether it be inns or static homes and freeholds or apartments. But freeholds are going to be the creme de la creme, and definitely the most prestigious. The scarcity of the land in Ashes of Creation makes it one of the most sought after commodities, but the game's design ensures that the land will not be locked away by early adopters. Through the node siege system, the land ownership is going to be a dynamic process where freeholds can change hands. If you're still watching, I'd like to say thank you. And if you enjoyed the video, please smash that like and subscribe button. Also, make sure you leave a comment below on what you're thinking of. Are you planning on becoming a freehold owner? And does attacking a smaller node seem more viable to maybe get that land that you're seeking, instead of trying to get it from a larger, say, a metropolis? For those who watch me on Twitch, I will be resuming streaming when Alpha 2 comes out on October 25th. It's become increasingly difficult to do while testing under NDA. Thanks for watching, Vera, and take care.
Work complete.